Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anthony, and today we're gonna test out the Blendiful, as they say. It retails for about $18, and it is marketed as a tool to apply makeup from cream to liquid to powder. Think of like a velour puff, but marketed to do more than just apply powder. That's supposed to be what makes this product different than other velour puffs. Very first impressions is it is very soft, very squishy. You know, you can fold it. It has two sides. You can flip it around, use either side however you want. So there's two that come for $18. So you get the big Blendiful, which is really the star of the show. This is what I feel like is the more unique product of the two. And then you have the baby Blendiful, which is so cute. It's so cute. This is also very soft. And this is marketed as like a touch-up tool. I've seen people use this for concealer and to apply some creams and stuff like that. At least in her video, she marketed it as puff for when you're gone throughout the day. You can throw this little mini bad boy in your purse or handbag or whatever. Use it to pat, blot the face, whatever, you know. That's what it was marketed for. It does feel different than the big guy over here. Both are very soft. This feels a little thicker, and whatever's inside of here, whatever foam that they're using, it does feel like it's different in this one than this one. And it's kind of, you know, a little fatter, ever so slightly. Right off the bat, this is what I'm excited to get into today. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna do, you know, my base makeup, not gonna do no eyes or nothing like that. So foundation, concealer, powder.
Here's my baby. Do you want to say hi? This is my baby Midnight. Say hi, Midnight. She loves my makeup space, my beauty space. Oh my god.
I'm gonna do a full base application, and we're just gonna see how it goes. I'll give you my honest first impressions, obviously, and yeah. Let's just see where it takes us. My pores are pretty big. You might be able to see them. This light is not forgiving. You can see everything on my face. So, you know, I got some pores on my cheeks and stuff like that. I'm going to use the Optical Illusion Complexion Rescue from, Complexion Primer from Urban Decay. I'm gonna go in to the very tip. It's just what I'm most comfortable in grabbing is the very tip. Don't be nasty. Built up right there, and I'm just going in. Them cheeks, boy. Today for foundation, drum roll please. So today I'm going to be using NARS. What is this? Sheer Glow.
It gives me like the smoothest, most natural finished face I have ever gotten from almost any other foundation, and it feels really good on your face. At least to me, does not feel heavy. As far as people thinking it gets really shiny, for me it doesn't get overly shiny, more than usual, right? I think like I have kind of like combo skin, so it's gonna get oily a little bit, but it doesn't break up on me, and so that's all I'm really worried about.
I alternate between two colors, either Barcelona or Syracuse. I usually just mix them. There is no shade between this and this foundation, so I just mix them. If I'm in a store and I don't know which one it is, I definitely utilize my return policies, and I will grab like two and just see which one is the better version, you know, which one is the best for my skin tone, and then take the other one back. Going right back to the store. I'm gonna take the Blendiful, I gotta get used to saying that, the Blendiful, and I'm gonna use the same part that I used for primer, because why get another part dirty when, you know, when it's off face stuff anyway. I'm not mad at it so far. That is nice and full coverage when you're using this tool, for sure. That's the first thing I notice is how much more coverage it looks like I have. All right, so this is one layer. You can, you know, you got a little up close of it. I like how it looks, and I like how it blends things out, for sure. It definitely is giving me a more full coverage vibe. I do feel like I'm using less foundation. I still have a shit ton of foundation here. I'm using less foundation. The only thing so far is I do feel like my face just looks more dry, you know? I don't know if that's just something I would need to like adjust in my face prep routine. Maybe having more moisture before I use a tool like this. I was just complaining about this stuff. I'm gonna grab a concealer that I know is a little bit more hydrating, which is the Born This Way. And I'm gonna take it in warm beige. And I'm gonna use this as a concealer today because this definitely is more hydrating than some of my other concealers. And considering how I felt about the foundation application, I feel like going in with a more hydrating concealer might be a better choice for me. Take our Blendiful and start blending out. And I'm gonna use the same. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can with like one part of this sponge.
So far so good. It's definitely blending everything out for sure. Like that's not an issue. It's definitely blending. The Blendiful is a blending.
All right, so this is foundation and concealer. Not set with any powder yet.
Like I was saying earlier, it definitely blends things out, right? Like there's not a lot of, you know, you can't really see harsh lines, I don't think.
I feel like I am missing just that little bit of moisture that you get from a sponge. That's the only thing so far. I don't know if that's just because it's the first time using this. I don't know if maybe I would benefit from like spraying my face down a little bit. Maybe I'm just a little dry. It is winter. I do live in a very cold part of this country. So for bronzer, we're going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in Chestnut. I'm going to take the same side. I'm going to keep using this one side and I'm going to see how it does.
We'll say that by using this, you are able to really just kind of push it into your face, and it does find your cheekbone very nicely on its own.
That actually is quite beautiful, I will say. That application of a contour, not mad at. I'm gonna see if there's any excess on here, if I can just kind of. That definitely gave me a little bit of definition on my nose without me having to go back in and grab more cream bronzer, which I appreciate. Now I'm starting to feel comfortable about my face, you know. I'm gonna put blush on. You see how my concealer is creasing? I feel like that's because this doesn't absorb product.
So if you accidentally put a little bit too much on, you're gonna have a situation.
But that might be just because, again, it's my first time using this product, and so it's probably user error. Like I probably should have just went in with less concealer. As you saw, I kind of went ham, and I was talking about that was like a light concealer application. God bless. So I'm gonna take a NARS Stick Cream Blush, which is probably old. I don't even know if they make this anymore, and it's in the shade Portofino. Now I'm gonna go in with, you guessed it, the same part of the Blendiful. I'm just gonna pat over. That definitely blended out the blush very nicely. I'm gonna be using the Dermablend Professional Loose Powder. This is in the translucent, or the original, I guess is what it says. They do have a bunch of other colors, and I highly recommend that if you are of color, like even if you're Latino or you're like a medium complexion like myself, still look into some other colors and see what works best for you. This is just what they had when I went, and so this is what I grabbed.
It's a very nice powder, very finely milled, very smoothing. This has pretty much been my go-to powder for the past year or so. And one thing I like to do, you know, I know a lot of people like to tap off into the cap and unscrew it. I actually tap like this, and then I turn it over, tap again, so whatever's on top can fall. And I pick up from the inside of the cap. I find that way when I go to screw this back on, it's not a mess. You know, there's not like a bunch of powder that was in the cap that falls all around the sides and blah, blah, blah.
I'm gonna go ahead and dip into same side of the sponge or the Blendiful. Dip right into that powder. It's definitely much better, you know. And then if you're not that close to me, then it definitely looks better. Like from here, I look flawless. So for bronzer, we're gonna take the NARS Casino, same side of the brush. Same side of the Blendiful. Ooh, this is scary. I do not mind it for this, actually. I thought this would be like, ooh, is that me? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna take the Natasha Denona. This is the Blush Duo Palette number 13. Oh, and I just love me like a corally blush. Like, I love this. This is my favorite color of blush. Oh my god. It's, you know, it's like a dark peach. Like, just love me a peach. What's this one? That one's not a peach, but it should be. Just a pat. That's pigmented stuff. So I'm gonna pat that off just a little bit. There's still some color there. And we're gonna go ahead and, ooh, no. Ooh, that's scary. Ooh, that's scary. You can kind of see where I first touched my face, which I don't like, but again, that's probably more user error, you know. Blush is pigmented, so I am patting it off though, you know, like I'm not just going in directly. Because I want to go and I kind of want to blend some of this stuff together. Because that's what I would do with a brush, you know, like usually I have a brush that I go after everything is applied and I kind of blend it all together regardless. So I kind of want to do the same thing with this. The Laura Mercier, what is this? The Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. I love this powder. I'm going to try it with this today. I'm going to take just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to pat this out. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to actually just pat this in. And I always especially get where the concealer meets the foundation, because as you can see, even from this side to this side, it's just a little less harsh, and then these areas are just not as bright. It definitely tones that down. I don't know that I like doing it with this per se, just because I don't know, it's just not as fluid as grabbing a big fluffy brush and, you know. But is it working? It is working, right? Like, it's definitely doing what it says it will do. So I can't be mad at that. Last but not least, we got a glow. So today I'm gonna go in with an OG, the Becca Face Palette. This is old, guys. Like, a lot of you on here now probably weren't even into makeup when this came out. But this is like the Jaclyn Hill Becca Cosmetics thing. You can't get this anymore, but you can get these highlighters, and the highlighters are in Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. You can get the highlighters still. So if you like how it looks, especially I love me some Champagne Pop because it has, again, that corally type of thing, but this is gold and this looks a lot better on, you know, medium skin tones. I will probably mix them. So let's get to it. I'm gonna take a little bit of each. Okay. Boop. I do use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I like this stuff. I go ham. I go ham. All right, so that's the face, guys. So my thoughts on this so far, I do like it. I do like it. Why do I like it? I like it because it does what it says it's gonna do, right? You can use it for liquids, you can use it for powders, and you can complete a full face, you know, like a full face with this, which I do like, just for the convenience of it. And another thing I like that you don't have to get up and wet it. I'm lazy. Another thing that I like about it is I know a lot of people, when they were doing their tutorials, they use like this whole side. And when I was watching that, I never really understood it, because you definitely can get a full face and use like 1 or 2 brushes, you know, or like one side of a beauty blender if you have to. And it not be that big of a deal, you know, like, again, kind of like I was patting out in between applications. I like that I was able to get it all done on one portion of one side. And again, I don't expect everybody to be able to do this, especially like with blush or bronzer or things like that. The color changes can throw people off, and if you're not being careful with how much you're applying and how much you leave on here before you go in with something else, you can end up messing up your face, getting blush under your eye or whatever it is, you know. And I still have like a whole nother side, you know. If I really wanted to be clever and kind of lazy, I can go, you know, use this side for a day, use this side for a day, and then I still have the whole other side to use whenever I want. So I think that if you're clever, you know, you can definitely get a good couple uses out of this before you go wash it. I don't know, I didn't want to have to like do a deep clean of a puff every day. That just wasn't my cup of tea, which is I think why I kind of challenged myself to use just this one portion of it, so that way I wouldn't feel like every single day I gotta go and do a deep cleaning of this, let it dry before I use it, because then, you know, that defeats the purpose of the point of it being that you don't have to get up and wet it, right? Like, oh yeah, we save time not getting up to go wet it before we do our makeup, but how long are you spending after you do your makeup trying to wash everything off? Like, you know what I'm saying? With all that being said, I like that I was able to get it all done on this just one portion, and I still have a lot of room on this side to use for the next time, and a whole other side. I do like that a lot. Foundation went on really well with it. Like I said, initially I was feeling like I looked really dry, and this is me up close, so you can see all my flaws and everything. I'm not perfect. After I've set my face and all of that, I don't know that I feel like it looks too dry. I don't know. I don't really like what's happening on my nose right now. You see that? Kind of like looks like it's getting oily already, or wants to or like there's too much product there. I don't know. If you're somebody who enjoys the benefit of having a wet sponge and the added moisture a wet sponge gives you, that you should look and, you know, maybe add a little bit more moisturizer to your routine before you go in with makeup. I think that that's something I'll do the next time. Just have my face a little bit more moisturized before I put on foundation, because I really do enjoy kind of like a real natural dewy foundation application. And it might have been the foundation I used too, you know, but Sheer Glow generally has a little bit of a glow to it, so I don't know. And I do have a little bit of a glow now, but it's definitely, you know, I do feel more matte than I do when I use a beauty blender. Like, I feel more matte, or more dry. But as far as applying it, it did work. Will I use it again to apply foundation? I think I would. Again, just for the convenience of not having to get up and go with a sponge, I think I would end up using this again to apply foundation, for sure. And I have to play around with different foundations and just see what works the best with it. Concealer, I don't know that this is gonna be my favorite thing for concealer, because this does not absorb product. If you put on any bit of concealer that's too much, it's gonna like crease really bad, you know, start settling in your lines and stuff like that, and that's just not the business, you know. So I don't know, it's not that you can't do it with this, I'm sure you can. I just think that it's a little bit more user-friendly to use like a sponge or a brush that does absorb a little bit of product when you're doing the concealer portion, just so that way it doesn't look cakey in your under eyes, you know? I was able to fix it. We'll have to see how it works throughout the day, because in a couple hours, I'll know if there's a difference between if it's settling in my eyes really bad or not. So for concealer, I don't know. I think I would try it a few more times with different concealers and different methods using a little bit less. I do want to give it a fair shot, and because this is my first time using this for that amount of things, I do want to try a few more times and see if I like it better. But as of right now, I don't know that I'll do the concealer with this type of puff. The contour and blush, beautiful. I actually enjoyed probably putting the bronzer, the cream bronzer contour and blush on with this the most. That was just so easy. Like, it just kind of melted away when I did that. So I definitely like that. I definitely am going to use this when it comes to like cream contour, cream blush, stuff like that. I think this is great for that. I did not use a cream highlighter, but it probably would be great with a cream highlighter, I would imagine. Powders, I expected this to work well with powders, because that's what the majority of us know of puffs to be used for, is for powders. So I expected it to be, you know, good with powders, and it was good with powders. I like it for setting the face. I liked it for bronzer application, surprisingly. I didn't think it was bad for that. Again, just because I was able to really follow my cheekbones and all of that. So I definitely like that. For blush, powder blush, it was okay. I'm not mad at it. For powder highlight, was not my favorite for powder highlight. But it did its job. That's the thing. It did its job. It's not that it's not working. It's just, is it better than like my favorite brush for highlight? To me, it's not. So, you know, but, and then, you know, my finishing powder, it worked fine. Not my favorite application tool for a finishing powder, because of generally enjoying the motion of having, you know, just a big fluffy brush and wisping it across my face really quickly and getting that done. So not my favorite for finishing powder. And then patting in the setting spray, it worked just fine. I don't mind using this to pat in setting spray at the end of my routine. It worked just fine for that. So overall, I'm generally pretty happy with it. I do think that I need to play with it a little bit more just to get used to using it with certain types of products and the amount of products that I'm used to using versus what I would need for this. But it does work. So like, if you bought this and you're on the fence about it, it does do its job. You're going to be able to put your full face on with this. If you're like me, you can get away with just one part of it, just that part, and still have a bunch of space to use it again. It's super soft, super luxurious. It's very trendy right now, obviously. So if you have it, you'll enjoy it, you know. I don't think it's not worth your money. Do I think that it's worth doing your whole face with every day? No, I think that this in conjunction with other things would be great. I think that this in conjunction with one powder brush might be the move. This in conjunction with a concealer brush and a powder brush might be the move. You know, if you're somebody who has a lot of makeup and you don't really care about the convenience of things, then why not have it? You know, you can totally use this beautiful puff to put your powders in, use it just for foundation, whatever you like. Just like we have one brush for certain things, right? So I don't see why not. If you're somebody who is on a budget and you want to, you're purposely buying this so that way you can do everything with one thing, one tool, I think you'll also be happy. I do think this has a learning curve to it. I think that you need to practice with it to get, especially if you're somebody who's been doing makeup for a while and already has a certain type of results that you're looking for and are used to on your face. You definitely will just need to play with this a little bit and figure out what you like using it best with. So it's definitely not bad. I do like it. I do think it's worth the $18. It was like $22 with shipping and all that. give or take. So I don't think that's bad. You know, you can reuse this, wash it in the sink or in the washer, and you are able to reuse this, so it's not like it's one use. As far as the little guy, I don't really know what I'm gonna use this, to be honest. I almost would have wished that I got 2 of these for $18, but I know that will never happen. Versus getting this and this. This is adorable, but I don't really touch up my makeup throughout the day. I'm never like that person. And don't get me wrong, like, I've definitely worn my makeup throughout some long days. And I don't know, I just never bring a puff with me or bring a beauty blender with me to touch up. Like, if I'm really oily, usually there's a bathroom somewhere with a tissue, like, I don't know, and I'm able to get that done if I need to. And I'm kind of just used to doing my makeup to a point where I just don't touch up throughout the day, really. You know, if it lasts, it lasts. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I don't know when I'm going to use this or how I'm going to use it. Even if it works for, you know, picking up excess oil, I don't know that I would ever use it for that. So I might go with the route of a lot of other people and use this for something else, like a concealer or something like that, right? And then maybe what if this works better with the concealer? I don't know. Then, you know, this will be something to do. So I do think I will do more videos testing this stuff out. I do probably want to do like a half and half with the Blendiful and a beauty sponge, just so I can see even what I prefer when they're right next to each other. And then maybe even do like a half and half this and the Laura Mercier sponge, which is this sponge. So a little smaller than this one. A little bit different outside material, but the sponge on the inside feels the same. And I wonder, ever since this came out, if this could be used the same way and we just never used it the same way. This definitely is used with powders. You can wash these and reuse these, so I don't see why it would be different. But, you know, why not check it out? I do want to explore this more. But for now, like I mentioned, just to finish everything off, it's cute. I like it. I don't know if I would consider it revolutionary and changing my whole makeup game, but I do think that this is nice and innovative, and it's good to keep consumers interested in makeup and just try things new. You know, like if you're a lover of makeup, it's art, you know, try new things, see how they work for you. So yeah, if you got this on the way, I do recommend that you practice with it and see how you like it yourself. But I do think you'll like it. I do think you'll enjoy it. It will get the job done. And yeah, so that was my review of the Blendiful. I will come back and do some more videos soon with the Blendiful, try it out a little bit more, and yeah, we can really get a feel for what it's gonna do for our makeup game. But until then, I love you guys. Let me know down below what videos you want to see. Let me know if you enjoyed this, what questions you have about it, any questions in general you guys have about makeup. Please feel free to let me know down below. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.